When a friend asks for money, it is best to consider which of the two you would rather lose. Diogenes. Chapter 1. The Silent Leaks. Family, a cage of gilded chains. They whisper love while draining your essence, believing you their possession. This chapter reveals their quiet sabotage. The world tells you, family is your foundation, your unwavering support system. This is a lie. Understood what Machiavelli understood what most still refuse to see. The very people sworn to your blood can be the silent leaks in your ambition, draining your potential drop by precious drop until nothing is left. Right now, your drive, your focus, your energy are under attack from invisible chains, from the quiet demands that siphon your future without you even realizing it. Exiled from Florence, stripped of his power and influence, he did not drown in self-pity. He observed. He learned that his downfall wasn't just the result of external enemies, but also from the unseen vulnerabilities, the emotional attachments, and political debts that had slowly eroded his position from within. He recognized that while family can offer comfort, it can also become a sieve through which your most valuable resources, time, money, and mental bandwidth, relentlessly escape. These are the silent leaks. They manifest as endless requests for help, small financial loans that never return, the constant need for your emotional labor. They appear as unsolicited advice, designed to keep you comfortable, small, and within their familiar orbit, resisting any move you make that threatens to outgrow them. They do not want you to rise to a height they cannot reach. Watch what happens when you attempt to carve out time for your own projects, your own climb. The phone rings. A sudden crisis emerges, an obligation appears, cloaked in love or guilt, demanding your immediate attention. You find yourself explaining, justifying, defending your ambition, and every word you speak is energy you could have poured into your own ascent. Every time you explain yourself, you move from an offensive position to a defensive position, and the moment they know you need their understanding, they have access to you. They will poke at your weaknesses, question your resolve, and subtly sabotage your plans, not with malice, but with a suffocating, self-serving affection. They will watch you, they will wait for you to flinch. Here's how you seal these leaks. You stop explaining. You create distance. You learn to say no without apology, without justification. You treat your time, your money, and your mental space as sacred resources, guarded with the ruthlessness of a general defending his last stronghold. If you announce your new boundaries, people will resist. They will push back. They will make you the villain. But if you quietly, consistently, and without fanfare, simply do what you need to do, invest in yourself, protect your time, decline their demands, there is nothing for them to argue against. There is only a new reality they must adapt to or be left behind. In his writings, understood that a ruler must often detach from sentiment to secure power. He saw how relying on familial bonds could be a weakness, exploited by rivals, or simply a drain on strategic resources. What he understood is that your ambition demands a similar cold calculus. Consider Julius Caesar, a man whose ambition knew no bounds, even when it meant severing ties that were once close. He understood the strategic necessity of decisive action, knowing that hesitation or emotional attachment to certain people could spell disaster for his grander vision. He crossed the Rubicon, cutting himself off from the very legal framework and personal connections that sought to hold him back, proving that to achieve true greatness, some bonds must be deliberately, even painfully, broken. The subtle sabotage from those closest to you is a quiet killer of dreams. It feels like love, but it functions like a thief, taking your most valuable assets without a sound. Nothing leaks, nothing drains, everything compounds. But there's another insidious trap that family sets, one that uses your past against your future. What is it? Chapter 2, The Guilt Strings. Guilt strings, a whisper of love, a shout of control. They bind you to the past, strangling your future. We dissect this gilded cage and how to break free. The subtle sabotage from those closest to you is a quiet killer of dreams. It feels like love, but it functions like a thief, taking your most valuable assets without a sound. Nothing leaks, nothing drains, everything compounds. But there's another insidious trap that family sets, one that uses your past against your future. What is it? This is the invisible chokehold of the guilt strings, woven from perceived debts and emotional blackmail. Picture Louis XIV in early modern France, building the sprawling palace of Versailles, not just as a home, but as a cage of gilded dependency. He understood that to control the powerful nobility, he had to keep them close, entangled in a web of courtly etiquette and social obligation. Their very presence at Versailles, their access to the king, became a source of status, yet simultaneously a leash. Their past loyalty, their inherited positions, all became leverage. This is why your family often wields your own history against you. They remind you of their sacrifices, the support they offered, the times they were there for you. These are not genuine expressions of love. They are carefully deployed emotional weapons. They don't want you to fail, but they often fear your success will take you beyond their reach, outside their control. They fear the loss of what they perceive as their claim on your life. Think about the conversation where you announce a bold career move, a relocation, or a decision that deviates from their expectations. Immediately, the strings tighten. After all we've done for you, they might sigh, how can you even consider leaving? Or, don't you remember when you needed us? Now you're too good for your own family? They are not asking for understanding. They are demanding allegiance. They are using your past to dictate your present, to anchor you in place. Here's how you cut these unseen ropes. You must first recognize that these depths are often imagined, or that the price they demand for past kindness is your future autonomy. True love does not come with conditions or an expiration date. You owe no one your ambition, your potential, or your path. Their investment in you does not grant them ownership of your life. Louis XIV knew that by making the nobles dependent on him, their past status and future aspirations were entwined with his will. What he understood is that dependency, however subtle, breeds control. Your strategy is not to argue or explain, but to act. When they pull a guilt string, do not engage the emotional trap. Do not justify your choices. A simple, firm statement of your intention, followed by silence, leaves no opening for negotiation. If you announce your ambition and then proceed to explain or apologize, people will perceive weakness and an invitation to interfere. But if you quietly pursue your path, making your decisions without seeking their approval or permission, there's nothing for them to grab onto. Your actions become your explanation. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting on the nature of duty in self, wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He knew that external pressures, even from those closest, only hold sway if you allow them to penetrate your inner fortress. Your obligation is to your purpose, to the disciplined pursuit of your own excellence, not to the emotional whims of others who seek to confine you. Louis XIV's court was a spectacle of power and control, built on the premise that proximity equaled subjugation. You are not a courtier at their emotional Versailles. Your journey is your own. Their attempts to bind you with emotional chains are an act of self-preservation on their part, a desperate grab to maintain a familiar order. They fear change, especially when that change means you ascending beyond their sphere of influence. The guilt strings are strong, but they are not unbreakable. You must be ruthless in identifying them, and surgical in cutting them. But even after you sever these emotional ties, another form of family manipulation lurks, one that quietly undermines your self-belief. What is this insidious psychological weapon? Chapter 3: The Open Wallet. The open wallet, a potent tool wielded by kin to drain your strength. Learn how to fortify your ambition against their subtle, relentless demands. That psychological weapon is the open wallet. They will tell you family means support, that blood is thicker than water, but for many, family is a leak. A slow, steady drip that siphons off your hard-earned resources, leaving your ambition parched. This isn't just about money. It's about the energy, the time, the focus that money represents. Every dollar you hand over is a brick removed from the foundation of your future. Picture John D. Rockefeller in industrial America, consolidating the oil industry. He understood that every single resource, every drop of oil, every cent of capital needed to be controlled, optimized, and directed towards growth. He saw waste as a deadly enemy, a drain on his empire's potential. He didn't tolerate leaks. Your family, often unintentionally, creates those leaks, demanding your financial resources in ways that cripple your ascent. They come with sob stories, with temporary emergencies, with pleas for help that somehow become permanent fixtures in your budget. I just need a little to get by, they say. It's just until next month. But next month never comes. The requests grow bolder, the expectations solidify, and suddenly you are not a son or a daughter or a sibling, but a walking ATM, your bank account an extension of their perceived needs. This dynamic establishes you as a resource, not as an individual with their own path. Watch what happens when you say no. The immediate accusation of selfishness, the reminder of all they did for you, the subtle emotional blackmail that makes you question your own self-worth. They turn your ambition into a weapon against you, implying that your pursuit of success makes you cold, heartless, detached from the very people who love you. They want you to fund their comfort, not your own empire. Here's how you seal this leak. You become as ruthless with your financial boundaries as John D. Rockefeller was with his company's assets. You treat your capital, your money, your time, your energy as sacred. You understand that every dollar you invest in your own growth is an exponential return. Every dollar given away without a strategic purpose is a dead loss. You develop a default no for unexplained financial requests, a quiet, firm wall that allows no breach. Do not explain yourself. Do not justify your decision. They will look for a crack, a weakness in your resolve, a reason to argue their case. Every word you offer is an opening they will exploit. Instead, you develop a simple, unyielding response. I'm not able to help with that right now. Repeat it. Don't elaborate. Don't apologize. Your silence is your strength. Your refusal to engage is your shield. When you announce your financial gains, people will line up, hands out, ready to claim their share. They see your success not as a result of your discipline, but as a communal pot from which they can draw. But if you quietly build your wealth, if you operate with discretion and control, there's nothing for them to latch onto. You don't need their applause, you need your resources. What John D. Rockefeller understood is that true power comes from consolidating your strength, not distributing it. He built an impenetrable fortress of capital and efficiency. He didn't share his resources with competitors or those who would dilute his vision. He acquired, he controlled, he expanded. You must do the same with your personal economy. Your ambition cannot thrive when it is constantly subsidizing someone else's lack of foresight or effort. Consider the words of Genghis Khan, who knew the true cost of maintaining power and expansion. He once said that if his body was not fed, his spirit would be weak. He understood that maintaining a strong foundation, ensuring his own resources were secure, was paramount to any conquest. Your ambition is your conquest, and your finances are its vital sustenance. Let them drain you, and your spirit will weaken, your campaigns will falter. The trap is believing you owe them. You do not. You owe yourself the ambition you carry, the future you are building. Every time you open your wallet, you are closing a door on your own potential. Every loan, every gift, every bailout is a sacrifice of your future self for their immediate convenience. This isn't generosity, it's self-sabotage. This open wallet isn't just about cash, it bleeds into other areas, seeping into your time, your emotional energy. Once they know you are an easy mark for money, they will become an easy mark for your availability, your attention, your mental space. The open wallet is merely the most visible symptom of a deeper problem, a lack of boundaries that invite endless exploitation. Your journey requires a ruthless assessment of where your resources are going. Are they fueling your growth, or are they patching holes in someone else's sinking ship? Be honest, be brutal. The truth about your financial drains will be uncomfortable, but necessary. This isn't about being cruel, it's about being strategic. But the financial drain is just one side of the coin. There is another, more subtle way. Family members can sabotage your drive, a constant current that pulls you back to the familiar, the mundane, away from your higher purpose. What is this gravitational force? Chapter 4. The quiet undermining. The quiet undermining, a force that weakens from within. Your enemies, yes, but often it's those closest who dismantle your very foundation, piece by subtle piece. That gravitational force is the quiet undermining. Picture Napoleon Bonaparte in 1815, exiled on Elba, seemingly defeated, his power stripped, his ambitions mocked by the very courts and families of Europe who once feared him. They believed he was finished. They spoke of his past failures, his impossible dreams, the madness of a return to glory. Every whisper, every published article, every letter from his remaining allies likely carried the sting of doubt, a quiet erosion of his legend. This is precisely what your family can do to you. They don't attack head-on. They use subtle jabs, backhanded compliments, and veiled criticisms that chip away at your confidence, piece by piece. They don't want you to fail, not overtly, but they often fear your success because it highlights their own stagnation. Your ambition becomes a mirror reflecting their unfulfilled lives, and they resent it. Watch what happens when you announce a bold new venture. They won't say, "That's stupid." Instead, they'll ask, "Are you sure about that? Remember what happened last time?" Or, "Uncle John tried something similar and it didn't work out." They'll pepper you with concerns disguised as love, but designed to inject doubt into your own mind. It's a slow bleed, a constant drip of negativity that eventually wears down your resolve. Here's how you eliminate this drain. You become a closed book. Napoleon Bonaparte, during his exile, was not openly plotting his return to power. He was observing, planning, and maintaining an impenetrable silence. He didn't debate his detractors or explain his future moves. He simply waited. He understood that to announce your intentions is to invite sabotage. If you announce your ambitions, people will immediately pick apart your plans, offer unsolicited advice that subtly discourages you, and prepare to say, "I told you so," when you encounter inevitable obstacles. But if you quietly do the work, moving in the shadows, revealing nothing until it's a done deal, there's nothing for them to undermine. There's no argument to engage, no dream for them to dismiss. The moment you share your vulnerable dreams, you give them a weapon. They will use your own words against you, subtly reminding you of the difficulty, the risk, the unlikelihood of success. This isn't always malicious. Sometimes it's their own fear projected onto you, a desire to keep you safe within their narrow definition of normal. But the effect is the same. Your fire is dampened. They will try to remind you of your past failures, or even their own, as if your history dictates your future. This is a common tactic of those who wish to maintain the status quo. What Friedrich Nietzsche understood is that the strongest wills overcome these external pressures, understanding that life is a constant overcoming. He knew that the unexamined motives of others often stem from weakness, not strength. So, When they offer their advice or their concerns, you nod, you smile, and you change the subject. You do not explain. You do not justify. You simply absorb the information, filter out the noise, and continue your silent work. Your actions will speak for themselves when the time is right. This requires a calculated indifference to their opinions. Your ambition is a sacred fire. Do not let their damp whispers extinguish it. Keep your plans close, your resolve tighter, and your execution silent. Let the results be the only argument you ever make. But the quiet undermining isn't the only subtle sabotage. There's another, more insidious form of control, one that traps you in an endless cycle of obligation and guilt. What is this invisible leash? Chapter 5, The Family Mold. The family mold, a subtle poison disguised as love. It shapes you, binds you, and ensures you remain forever in their image, themselves when the time is right. This requires a calculated indifference to their opinions. Your ambition is a sacred fire. Do not let their damp whispers extinguish it. Keep your plans close, your resolve tighter, and your execution silent. Let the results be the only argument you ever make. But the quiet undermining isn't the only subtle sabotage. There's another, more insidious form of control, one that traps you in an endless cycle of obligation and guilt. What is this invisible leash? It is called the family mold. Picture Steve Jobs in Silicon Valley in 1984, standing on a stage, unveiling the Macintosh. He wasn't just launching a computer, he was smashing a mold, defying every expectation of how technology should look, feel, and function. He didn't ask permission to invent a new future, he simply built it. The family mold is the invisible blueprint handed down to you, generation after generation. It is the unspoken expectation of who you should be, what career you should pursue, where you should live, even who you should marry. It's a comfort blanket, woven with threads of tradition, but those threads can quickly become a suffocating net. This mold doesn't just shape your outer life, it infiltrates your inner world. You begin to internalize their desires as your own. Your true ambition, your unique spark, gets buried under layers of duty and expectation. It's a slow, quiet death of self, leaving you living a ghost life, a surrogate existence tailored for others. Your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, they project their own fears, their own unlived dreams, their own limited visions onto you. They want you safe, comfortable, predictable. They want you to fit their picture. They don't want you to disrupt their carefully constructed reality. Think about the holiday gatherings, the casual questions. Are you finally settling down? When are you getting a real job? Your cousin Sarah is doing so well in accounting. These are not innocent inquiries. These are subtle pressure points, reminding you of the approved path, nudging you back into the mold they created. The trap is that the mold feels familiar, it feels safe. Deviating from it means confronting not just their disapproval, but your own discomfort with the unknown. It means choosing the arduous path of self-discovery over the comfortable pre-paved road. Most people never make that choice. They stay in their lane, quietly resentful. Here's how you break the family mold. Not by outright rebellion, but by strategic, silent redirection. You don't announce your departure from their script. You don't ask for their understanding or their blessing. You simply begin to build your own world, brick by brick, in the shadows. If you announce your wild ambition, people will rally against you. They will point out the risks, recount failures of others, and weaponize your past mistakes. They will try to drag you back into their familiar orbit, using guilt and fear as their gravity. They will drain your resolve before you even begin. But if you quietly do the work, if you build your new life with focus and discipline, there's nothing for them to fight against until it's too late. When you finally reveal your creation, your success becomes an unarguable fact. They cannot pull you back into a mold you have already outgrown. Steve Jobs understood this deeply. He did not seek permission from his parents or his early partners to pursue his audacious visions. He didn't argue for the validity of his ideas, he manifested them. His journey with Apple was a relentless act of self-creation, defining his own path. Despite the expectations of a burgeoning tech industry, he didn't just build products. He built a worldview, forcing the world to adapt to his reality. This level of self-definition demands a brutal honesty with yourself. It requires you to question every assumption, every expectation, every should that has been planted in your mind. It means peering into the very foundations of your upbringing and asking if they serve your truth or merely someone else's. As Socrates taught, the unexamined life is not worth living. What he understood is that true freedom begins when you dissect the inherited wisdom, when you challenge the established order, when you dare to scrutinize the very blueprint of your existence. Your ambition, your purpose, demands this fierce examination. Your ambition cannot bloom in a borrowed garden. You must cultivate your own soil, define your own boundaries, and create your own climate. But even after escaping the mold, there's another subtle poison they can drip into your well, one that saps your energy directly, day after day. What is this drain? Chapter 6. The time sink. The time sink. They will bleed you dry, not just your power, but your very existence. Understand how to guard your vital hours, lest you become nothing. This is the time sink. It's not just their opinions or their expectations. It is the constant, insidious siphon on your most finite resource, your time, your life force. Your ambition cannot thrive if it is perpetually drained. Picture Cardinal Richelieu in Bourbon, France. He was a man burdened with a monumental task of consolidating absolute royal power in a fragmented, chaotic nation. He understood that every moment was a weapon, a negotiation, a strategic advantage. He could not afford to squander his mental energy. Richelieu knew that the trivial, the emotional, the incessantly demanding were all enemies of his singular purpose. His focus had to be absolute, his time sacred. Your family, often unconsciously, sees your time as a communal asset. They believe it is theirs for the taking. Your phone rings, demanding an immediate response. A text pulls you away from your screen. A casual drop-in turns into an hour-long obligation. Each interruption chips away at your focus. It forces your mind to disengage from your true work, then struggle to re-engage with the momentum you had built. This is not just lost minutes. It is the fragmentation of your deep work, the erosion of your ability to concentrate for extended periods, to enter that flow state where true creation happens. Nothing leaks more silently. Nothing drains more effectively. This is the illusion of shared time. Watch what happens when you try to embark on a significant project. You set aside hours, perhaps even days, to immerse yourself, to build crucial momentum. The moment you begin, the calls start. Then comes the call about a minor family drama, the request for a quick 5-minute favor, the guilt trip about not visiting enough, not being present. They pull you away. You pause your flow, you break your concentration, you sacrifice your trajectory, your progress, your very energy. Every time you allow these incursions, you train them. You train them to expect more. You teach them your boundaries are porous. You teach them your ambition is secondary to their momentary whims. Here's how you seal the time sink. You must cultivate a chilling, consistent unavailability around your working hours, your deep work periods. This isn't about being rude or disrespectful. It's about being strategic. You do not announce your new policy. You simply implement it. Their calls go unanswered during certain blocks. Their texts receive delayed, non-urgent replies, if they receive one at all. Your physical presence becomes scarce during your peak productivity windows. You become a fortress. You are no longer a communal lounge where anyone can wander in and out. If you explain yourself, if you apologize, if you justify your need for space, you open the door to negotiation. They will argue, they will rationalize, they will attempt to breach your defenses with emotional pleas, with tears, with accusations. But if you simply are unavailable, there's nothing to argue with. There's no point of entry for their demands. There's only the cold, hard fact of your absence. Your quiet withdrawal speaks volumes more than any argument. The Roman philosopher Seneca wrote extensively on the true value of time, lamenting how men are quick to guard their property but careless with the only thing that genuinely belongs to them. What Seneca understood is that most people live as if they have an endless supply of days, readily giving away their minutes to trivialities and the incessant demands of others. Your time is your life itself, parceled out in fleeting seconds. To give it away without thought, without fierce protection, is to give away your very existence. Cardinal Richelieu understood this principle with brutal clarity. He built a system where access to him was tightly controlled. His attention was a rare and precious commodity. He did not waste hours on small talk or appeasing every minor complaint. His time was for strategic thought, for high-level governance, for forging a path to absolute power. He created an environment where distractions were not merely avoided, but actively repelled. This allowed Cardinal Richelieu to concentrate his formidable intellect on the few things that truly mattered. He became an unmovable force because his focus was an unbreachable wall. Your ambition demands the same ruthless protection. It requires long, unbroken stretches of focus, free from the constant drip of external demands. You cannot build an empire or even a successful career if your mental workspace is perpetually under siege. The small daily requests accumulate into a mountain of lost potential. What is the ultimate cost of always being available? Of never saying no? Of letting them believe your time is theirs for the taking? It is the slow, agonizing death of your own dreams, your aspirations, smothered by 1,000 minor obligations. But the time sink is just one of many subtle sabotages. Even if you seal off your time, there's another, more potent weapon they wield against your drive, a psychological anchor designed to keep you tethered to their reality. What is this silent killer? Chapter 7, The Emotional Weight. Emotional weight, a silent killer, your most critical resource, stolen often by those closest. This is the burden they place upon you. The ultimate cost of always being available? The slow, agonizing death of your dreams? But time is just one sabotage. There's a deeper weapon they wield against your drive, a psychological anchor designed to keep you tethered. This is the silent killer, the emotional weight. Picture Winston Churchill in wartime Britain, a nation on the brink. His task, rally a spirit, uplift a people drowning in despair. What he understood is that your emotional state is your most critical resource. Family, often unwittingly, becomes its greatest thief. This is the burden of emotional weight, a burden not yours, yet it sinks your ambitions deeper than any missed deadline. It's endless drama, recycled grievances, manufactured crises demanding your sympathy, your emotional labor. They don't need your money, they need your emotional response. They need you to validate their victimhood, to listen to their unending negativity. As you lend your ear, your drive for something beyond their world bleeds out. Watch what happens when you try to elevate your spirit, to focus on your ascent. You're met with a sigh, a comment about how good some people have it. A fresh tale of woe. Your ambition, that burning fire, constantly doused by their low-frequency static. Think about a family dinner. You walk in buzzing with a new idea. The conversation shifts to their latest perceived injustice, their health woes, a past slight. You leave feeling scraped clean, mental reserves depleted, inspiration replaced by a dull ache. Here's how you reclaim emotional sovereignty. Become an emotional accountant. Audit every interaction. If it doesn't add value, if it doesn't uplift, it's a deficit. You cannot let their downward spiral dictate yours. Winston Churchill, with his blood, toil, tears and sweat speech, demanded fortitude, not pity. He offered grim reality, wrapped in a call to action. He knew indulging despair would hasten defeat. He insulated himself from their fear, even as he acknowledged it. This demands emotional boundaries, not just time or space. You learn to listen without internalizing, acknowledge feelings, but do not own them. Offer a simple, "I hear you," then change the subject, or exit the conversation. Announce ambition to a family steeped in emotional drama. They will scoff, or worse, load you with their insecurities. Project their fears onto your dreams, telling you all the reasons you'll fail. This comes from their own well of unfulfilled potential. But quietly cultivate inner resilience. Build an impenetrable shield against their emotional attacks. There is nothing for them to latch onto. Your emotional landscape becomes barren for their invasive weeds, forcing them to find another patch of despair. This is why you must understand the deep psychological currents. Sigmund Freud understood much human behavior, especially in families, is driven by unconscious patterns, by unresolved conflicts playing out again. Their emotional demands are often echoes of their own past, their unmet needs. What he knew is, you are not responsible for their unresolved past. You are only responsible for protecting your present, building your future. You cannot become their therapist, their savior, or their emotional punching bag. Your energy is finite, precious fuel for your own ascent. The moment you allow yourself into their vortex, attempting to fix their endless problems, you surrender power. You become a participant in their play, bound by their rules, dragged down by their gravity. Your ambition cannot thrive in an environment poisoned by victimhood. Winston Churchill did not commiserate with every citizen's fears. He provided leadership, projected strength, cultivated unwavering resolve. Even with immense personal burdens, he understood his emotional fortitude was a weapon. He wielded it ruthlessly. This detachment, this refusal to be an emotional sponge, is a powerful act of self-preservation. It is a declaration that your emotional landscape is sovereign territory. Only those who uplift are welcome. Your focus must remain on the climb, not on pulling others from their self-dug pits. But even when you master this, there's a deeper, more insidious trap they set for you. A silent sabotage, undermining your very self-belief, designed to keep you small, controllable, forever within their reach. What is this final, most crushing weight they impose? Chapter 8, The Impaler's Lesson. Impale their ambition. The 1,000 tiny cuts are not accidental. They aim to keep you perpetually beneath them, forever within their grasp. They want you to be a picture of Vlad the Impaler in medieval Wallachia. His enemies, those who defied his will, those who threatened his power, were not merely defeated, they were displayed. Impaled, a message carved into the very landscape, unmistakable and absolute. What Vlad the Impaler understood, what you must now understand, is that some threats cannot simply be managed or reasoned with. They must be eliminated completely. This is the final crushing weight, the cumulative effect of 1,000 tiny cuts, designed to keep you from ever rising above their orbit, forever within their reach. They want you to be a permanent reflection of their limitations, a convenient anchor to their comfort zone. Every comment, every unsolicited opinion, every subtle dismissal of your dreams is a chisel tap, slowly eroding your resolve. They don't need to physically stop you. They just need to ensure you never believe you can truly escape, never believe you deserve more. This silent sabotage undermines your very self-belief, turning your own mind against your ambition. Think about the insidious nature of this slow poison. It's not one grand betrayal, but a constant drip. The casual put-down disguised as a joke, the reminder of your past failures when you speak of future triumphs. The subtle shift in conversation when you mention a new venture, diverting attention back to their trivial concerns. Each instance is minor, easily dismissed, but together they form a cage of doubt around your potential. Here's how you break this final chain. You must see these actions not as misguided affection, but as direct attacks on your psychological sovereignty. Every drain you've identified, every boundary they've crossed, every piece of energy they've stolen was a move in a silent war for your future. Your response cannot be passive resistance or endless explanation. It must be a surgical strike. an absolute severing of their influence. If you announce your intentions to cut them off, to draw stark lines, they will mobilize, they will play the victim, accuse you of betrayal, and leverage guilt like a weapon. They will double down on their efforts to reel you back in, using every emotional trick they know. This gives them a target, an opportunity to engage you in a conflict where they are masters of manipulation. But if you quietly observe, if you move with calculated detachment, there's nothing for them to attack. You simply cease to engage. You become unavailable for their draining demands. You no longer offer explanations for your choices. You are polite, distant, and impenetrable. Your focus shifts entirely to your ascension, and their attempts to pull you down simply hit empty air. Sun Tzu wrote that, if you know yourself and know your enemy, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. What he understood is that clarity of vision regarding the source of your sabotage is paramount. You must see the subtle moves, the veiled critiques, the constant guilt trips, not as isolated incidents, but as a coordinated assault on your ambition. Your family is not necessarily malicious, but their need to control, their fear of change, makes them an enemy to your growth. The Impala's lesson is not about violence. It is about absolute, undeniable action. It is about making your position so clear, so unassailable, that future threats are deterred by the very thought of crossing you. You are not debating. You are not negotiating. You are simply establishing a new reality, where their influence is a ghost, an echo, that holds no power over your present. This is the ultimate act of self-preservation, the final step in protecting your ambition from those who unwittingly seek to smother it. You do not owe them your stagnation. You do not owe them your stagnation. You do not owe them your failure. You owe them nothing but the truth of your unwavering resolve. Your ambition is a weapon. Do not allow your family to disarm you. Impale their influence. Cut them out. Let nothing remain but your rise.